Hi there and welcome to Andy Robinson RC, and cheers for checking out the channel today and tuning in for this episode. Right, okay, we're out again in the lovely British weather, and it gets misty and it's cold and it's a bit drizzly, but we're out anyway because I've got this buggy to show you here today, which is a Duratrax Evader two-wheel drive buggy from the sort of like the early to mid 2000's. These were sort of brought out by Duratrax about 2004, and they ran for about 4 or 5, 6 years, something around that sort of time period. And what it is the Duratrax Evader basically is a clone of this buggy here, which is a Team Losi XX buggy, which again you've seen it on the channel a few times, but I've never got around to running it, which is a bit of a crime, but I promise you we will do that. But looking at this one, and I said this Duratrax Evader is essentially a clone of that buggy. Losi, or Team Losi, sold the rights to Duratrax of their older buggy designs, and they started producing like an entry-level buggy. They also did a high-spec one as well, but yeah, that's what they did. A bit like Thunder Tiger did with Associated. They released their Phoenix buggies and trucks, and they were loosely based or clones of the Associated B2, B3s and the T3s, etc. So a similar thing was done there. Now I picked this one up, and because I fancied getting it on the channel to show you, and I did a little bit to it. Now I'm going to have to stand up because I'm going to get cramp. Okay, so here it is. I say this came as a ready-to-run buggy, and when I got it, it needed completely new wheels and tyres. It also needed a front bumper replacement because it was all cracked. Also, the front steering, the front C-hubs there, that was completely broke on that one. And what else was? I think that was it mainly. And also as well, I mean, you're not going to be able to see it at the minute. No. The steering bell cranks, whoever had this before had repaired it many years ago. That had broke, but it had been repaired with epoxy resin, so it's like really, really strong. So I didn't bother replacing that, but I did replace these hubs and the front bumper. That's a 3D printed one. I didn't want to have to try and find one, and I'm sure I did something else to it as well. So yeah. So spec-wise, it's got a slipper clutch. It's got alloy adjustable shocks, adjustable turnbuckles all around, CVJ or CVD drive shafts on the back, and its bearings as well. Oh, that was it. Yeah, as I said, I replaced the wheels and tyres. The wheels aren't the Duratrax ones. These are JC Racing buggy wheels, and these are actually original Team Losi tyres. So I had some spares, so I put them on this, and it all now runs. Now the body on this, I think, is from a later Evader buggy, not the earlier ones. This might have been replaced. If I'm wrong, let me know. The reason I'm saying that is I think this is off a much later one, because I think it's someone's had it, they've damaged the body and they've replaced it with this, and this is what they could get. Now if I whip the shell off a minute. Now, I say this is quite an original thing. It's got all of its original radio gear. You can see there, Duratrax RX100 2-channel receiver. It's also got the Duratrax Sprint ESC. This is the later buggies had the Sprint 2 as well, and also it's got its 20-turn photon motor as well. Now the later ones were not rebuildable ones, they were sealed can ones, so this is what makes me think that this is an earlier Evader. Also, sadly, it didn't have its battery strap, which is a bit of a shame, so we've got this makeshift let's say big thick elastic band on there. That's how I got it as well. That's completely how I got it. So yeah, I mean, so you know, it's pretty much all original, apart from the fact that I had to change the wheels and tyres and I didn't have this battery strap. So basically we fixed it up a little bit and got it running. So we're going to get it on here. It's going to not be the best, it's not ideal for it, but we're going to show it you running anyway. So, but what I will do just before we run it, while the body shell's off, I'm going to just take off the Losi body shell to get the wing off. Oh, it's fiddly. Doesn't help, my hands are cold. There we go. Just take this body off a minute. And I'll pick the two chassis up and you can see just how similar they are. The arms are different, front and rear, although they are similar. But the chassis is you know, quite similar as well. Although, there you go, actually, so thank you. There you go. My wife's just brought the camera down so you can see extremely similar in looks and layout. Not exactly the same, but to say very, very similar. As Losi sold the rights to Duratrax to make a buggy, and they've basically copied that. Except this one, top deck, isn't hinged like on the XX either. But it's very close indeed. So as you can see. Right, okay, so I'm going to put that Losi. We will, I promise you, we will get the Losi running at some point. I do need to do it, I've had it long enough now. So anyway, let's oh, as well, I was trying to look up some information on the Evader BX, and there isn't tons and tons about, but supposedly it was, they had this, Duratrax had this thing called Magna Flex plastics, and it was, you know, to make it really tough, and it had it had a Stress Tech 1 year guarantee that came with all the buggies. Now, I don't know exactly how how tough these were, but yeah, I found that on the info I was reading about them. Anyway, let's see how this goes. I mean, I'm guessing that motor's had a bit of a, you know, quite a bit of use, so I'm not expecting this to, you know, be lightning quick, but we'll get it going anyway. For me to clean up later when I get in. So the radio system is basically a Futaba set that's just rebadged Duratrax, I should say. But yeah, no, yeah, it looks alright going around. Yeah, but I think that motor probably needs the comm skimming and a rebuild and whatnot. But so it's just as I got it really, apart from those small fixes I did to it. But I did think it'd be cool to show you. But yeah, definitely not setting any speed records of it. Yeah. Well, there you go. So you get some sort of idea. There it is. Now, a bit luckier than it was when I brought it out. So another one to clean off. But there you go. That's the Duratrax Evader, or Duratrax Evader BX, from the sort of early to mid 2000s. I say clone of the Losi XX. So I just thought I'd show you that because maybe you don't see tons of these about. So yeah, but yeah, certainly it was probably a cheaper way to get a race ready buggy at the time. Right, that's that for this one. Cheers for checking this video out, much appreciated as always. Okay, so we'll see you on the next one. Look after yourself and take care. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and checking us out at Andy Robinson RC YouTube. And then also, if you haven't already, come find us on Facebook and Instagram and check us out there. Again, just look up Andy Robinson RC. So right, there you go. Right, thank you very much for checking this one out. For the small dog joining us. Yeah, so, right, look after yourselves, take care, and we'll see you all soon. See ya.